And we should be accountable for taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money. I heard the Rastaman saying we are paid how much money per day. We should account for that money by being in the house.
Ndowooza ababaka ba parliament basasulwa bulungi era bamativu. Sirowooza nti waliwo omubaka ng'ekimukkiriza mu parliament okufuna nsako. Ensonga za sipiika twazirabye, twaziwulidde, twazitegedde. Naye tezikwata ku nsonga zituliko, ziri ku bintu birala. Era njala kusaba ababaka ba opposition obutabeera mu mbeera ya kutya abantu baffe baabalonda okujja okubeera eddoboozi lyabwe.
So, Right Honourable Speaker, we would want to join you as the presiding officer to support you to use all the mechanisms within the rules of procedure to compel our colleagues to come back to the House.
It beats my understanding that leaders, instead of using the power given to them by their people, they use the power given by somebody called the principal because he's heading a political party.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kankwanjulire Hajaruna omusomi w'edduwa Nakinku ng'onava omulendwadde nnyingi nnyo olyeyo ng'otawanyizibwa mu mukwano, otawanyizibwa mu mirimu, weetaaga kumikisa, oyagala kugenda mitala w'amayanja oba obweru w'eggwanga, otawanyizibwa amajinni oba shaitwan n'ebintu ebirala bingi nnyo. Hajaruna akusomera dduwa n'akuvumula bulungi nnyo n'otabaako kintu kyonna ky'ojula. Hajaruna akola ku bantu bonna awatali kusosola mawanga, awatali kusosola madiini ne mu nzikiriza zonna. Hajaruna asangibwa Bulumagi ku luguudo lw'Ejjinja era osobola okumukubira ku ssimu ze z'olabawo ku screen, osobola okukuba direct oba n'oyitira ddala ku WhatsApp n'osobola okumufuna n'akuyamba mu buzibu bwonna bw'olina.
And this goes to all the members. Whereas we are cognizant that some members are absent from the House, I'm yet to receive individual letters, and I'm saying individual letters, asking for permission to be out of the House. It is strict liability, not vicarious. We take personal liability who were voted in individually, not as a team. So I am here to receive letters from persons who are absent from the House formally. And then I will either formally give permission or not, depending on the circumstance. And if members have decided to be out of the House, then that means they should also not be in the committees, because a committee is an extension of the House. They should not, and this one goes to the clerk, nobody who is out of the House should be allowed to travel. Because you are not in the House, you're not part of the House, you've decided to be out of the House, so you don't enjoy your rights that you're supposed to get in the House. We are going for East African Games. That will start on 7th of December. And as these games start, there are people who have deliberately decided to excuse themselves from the House. But they will want to go and represent Parliament in Kigali. So I am also telling the chairman of the sports club in Parliament that those who are out of the House must be got out of the list. Whether they are goalkeepers or what, they should be gotten out of the list. Because if you cannot be in the House, whom are you going to represent out there? You should be able to represent your House first from here before you go and represent it from East Africa. So let's have those people out. And I want also to ask members who are in accountability committees where you have a chairman, a missing chairman in the committee, I want you to invoke Rule 203, 5 of the Rules of Procedure, for you to continue transacting and elect a member within your committee. I am giving you powers to elect a member within your committee. Because if you have a absentee chairman, we cannot continue doing without two chairpersons in the committee. So elect your chairpersons in the committee. The rules allow you to do that. I have also got information that some friends of ours, our colleagues, come and clog in outside there and go back. It's about integrity. I am going to print that list of members who have clogged in, stayed out there, and pretend to be in the house. And I will publish it in the newspapers. I will publish those names of people who don't have integrity. You're either inside or you're not. So they should come to the house. Nobody chased anyone out. Come back at will. Free entry, free exit. So please come back at will. Let's not pretend to be in when we are not in. And we should be accountable for taxpayers' money. Taxpayers' money. I heard the Rastaman saying we are paid how much money per day. We should account for that money by being in the house. Let's account for that money for being in the house. Now, if we are not in the house, you voted all the way from Bukedea to be in the house and you're not in the house. So where are you? Honorable members, and those who go to the social media, to TVs, radios, attacking me over what I am supposed to do, telling you to be in the house. Don't waste your energy, because I'm now immune. I'm immune to your attacks. All I want is people in the house to do the work that you're sent to do. Be productive. You're here to serve the nation. So if you cannot be here to serve the nation, then the rule will apply. And when we discipline one person, we are not disciplining a party. It will be a personal liability.
Eddoboozi ly'Abannayuganda lye bayisa mu babaka baabwe muzze mulituusa eri eggwanga bukyansembayo okwogera nammwe ku lw'ababaka bannange mu opposition. Olunaku lwajjo nafunye obubaka bungi okuva gye muli nga mwebuuza wawe tuyimiridde ku nsonga ezabadde mu Parliament, naddala ensonga ezasimbye okwogera kwa Speaker wa Parliament. Njala kutegeeza eggwanga nti ensonga za Speaker twazirabye, twaziwulidde, twazitegedde, naye tezikwata ku nsonga zetuliko, ziri ku bintu birala. Era njala kubategeeza nti ensonga ze twayogerako ezatulumya Parliament tukyaziriko. Speaker wa Parliament tumuwa ekitiibwa, era nga referee atalina kuba na kyekubiira kyetumubanja nti ttiimu eri bwebanga ekuba endobo ate talina gyegattako n'ekuba ndobo, alina giwa red card erekerawo okukola ebikolobero mu kisaawe. N'olwekyo bw'abanga yagiwa ennaku 3 nga zaggwako nga nakati bali mu kwebuzaabuza, obuyinza bw'alina abukozese ababanje bajje bannyonnyole okwebuzaabuza kwe baliko. Yatutegeeza nti ennaku ze baawanga 21 olwokubiri oluwedde tebagenda kubeerawo. Situlowooza nti bagenda mu buwaŋŋanguse, nti bawaŋŋanguka oba baabuzibwawo. Bwe banaakomawo nga beetegefu okutuddamu tujja kubeerawo. Baba nga si beetegefu naffe tujja kusigala nga tukola ebirala mu komiti ze tubeeramu, mu kola oversight nga opposition. Ndowooza ebyo tewali asobola bitujjako mu mateeka, tujja kusigala nga tubikola. Era njala kusaba abaka ba opposition obutabeera mu mbeera ya kutya abantu baffe babalonda okujja okubeera eddoboozi lyabwe. Ayagala okusamba omupiira waliwo ebibinja ebyenjawulo ebisambirwamu omupiira. Osobola okusalawo sikirizo gye zigwa n'ogenda ku trials. Ayagala okudduka emisinde, ekitongole weekiri ekisunsula abaddusi b'emisinde, ate ne Olympic Games teziri wala. Naye omulimu gwa paalamenti omukulu kubeera ddoboozi ly'abantu so si kukola bwakazannyirizi. Kirungi nnyo ababaka ogenda okwewummuzaamu n'okutegeera abalabe bakola mu nsi endala n'okuwuliziganya ne bannaabwe n'okukola dduyiro. N'ebino bisukka ku dduyiro, n'olwekyo embeera yonna eteeka ababaka mu kutya nti ekibatiisa nnyo. Ababaka ba paalamenti ndowooza omuwi w'omusolo atusasula bulungi. Sirowooza nti bakugamba nti tojja kutambula kugenda Kigali mu mizannyo. Kikujja kubuvunaanyizibwa obwakwebwa bw'emyaka 5 okulembera n'okukiikirira bannayuganda n'eddoboozi lyabwe. Ekyokusatu, njala kusaba abakulembeze b'ebibiina by'obufuzi ebiri mu opposition ebyenjawulo, bwe babanga ensonga eziri mu paalamenti tebannazitegeera bulungi, beebuuze, kubanga buli kibiina kirina nampala akikiikirira wano. Amaloboozi agava gye bali ag'enjawulo gayinza okulowoozesa abantu okubalowoozesa nti mu opposition tebaliiyo mu bumativu. N'olwekyo tusaba abakulembeze baffe abo bawulirize eddoboozi ly'abantu. Mu butuufu ebirowoozo byabwe bannayuganda balinganga bitadde kalulu k'ekikungo, referendum. Ebirowoozo byabwe ebyokugamba nti bo bali ku byabwe, nti ffe tudde mu paalamenti tunyumye emboozi eya bulijjo, tetujja kikola. Era ng'omukulu omu bw'abuuzizza, oyinza otya okugamba nti eno ensonga ntono, n'olwekyo weeteekerateekera biddako, okuggyako nga ddala by'okola tobimala birowoozaako, ng'obigwako bigwira bugwizi kiyiifuyiifu. Naye obanga olina obudde obulowooza ku by'okola, n'olowooza ku bibaddewo mu bululu, n'olowooza ku binaddako, tosobola kugamba nti eno ensonga ntono. Sipiika wa paalamenti tumusaba alondoole obudde bwe yawa oba essalira bwe yawa gavumenti, bajje bakole statement yaabwe mu paalamenti eddamu ensonga zaffe, kubanga tujjukira bulungi ne sabbiti 2 eziise baalaga nti beetegefu. Sipiika n'atutegeeza ku lwokubiri lwa sabbiiti eno nti baliiwo, bwe banaaba bakomyewo tujja kubaawo. Tulinze statement yaabwe, ne bwe bateriiwo tujja kusigala nga tukola ebirala. Mwebale nnyo. Teeka amalala bazzukulu ba nakasatwe, n'olwekyo tegasobola kuba nga gatujja kugoberera ensonga zino enkulu. Omukulu yabuuzizza sipiika ensonga ze twamuwa yazisuula mu kasero. Tazisuulanga mu kasero, tujja kukwatagana naye n'abamuyambako okutegeera obulungi engeri y'enkwata yaazo. Tewali muntu asobola kwemalirira, ndowooza bwe muwuliziganya. Ate ffe situggalangawo mpuliziganya wakati waffe ne ofiisi ya sipiika. Era tubeera bwetegefu bulijjo okuwuliriza bali kye bamugambye nga rifari ataba nakyekubiira. Ensonga bwe zivaayo bulungi nga tuwuliriza nga tuddamu. Bwe ziba nga zivuddemu mu ngeri yakubetegera nga tusimba nakakongo nga bwe tusimbye olwaleero. Era situgenda kujjulukuka. Sisobola, siri wano kwogerera radio Katwe, ndi mu kwogera nsonga ntongole, sisobola kubeera mu mbeera ya radio Katwe. Nadde nazitanyiza bulungi. Ekisooka, mu paalamenti tebataputirawo mateeka, ate amateeka abagasomako buli muntu asobola okugataputa obubwe. Ekifo gye bataputira amateeka ebeera kooti, n'olwekyo ne tunakutuuka ku lutwala mu kooti tukyakakasa nti wano wajja kubeerawo okuwuliziganya okw'ekisajja kikulu n'ekikazi kikulu wekiba nga gyekiri ekigambo ekyo. Buli omu ategeere obuvunaanyizibwa bwe ate abukole nga bulina okukolebwa. Ekyokubiri, obuvunaanyizibwa bwa sipiika tebusobola kuseeseetwa ne bukolebwa omulala okufaanako n'obuvunaanyizibwa bwa loopu butasobola kukolebwa mulala. Ndowooza singa buli omu ategeera obuvunaanyizibwa bwe n'abukolera mu misitale gyabwo. Byonna bye twogerako tebisobola kemmensa muntu mmeeme. Ensonga esinga obukulu gye twogerako wano nti waliwo ensonga enkulu weeri eddiddwamu nedda. Bwe mubuzaabuzibwa mugireka n'egenda bw'etyo nti kubanga ng'omumbejja bw'agambye nti abantu ensako yaabwe ejja kendeera. Ndowooza ababaka ba paalamenti basasulwa bulungi era bamativu. Sirowooza nti waliwo omubaka ng'ekimukeeza mu paalamenti okufuna nsako. Era singa omanyi nti ababaka ba paalamenti babeerawo mu ngeri ya njawulo beyond oba okusinga ensako yaabwe kikulu naye si motivation esinga. Waliwo obuvunaanyizibwa obunene obubaleeta okukola. Era omuntu yenna alowooza nti ajja bakwata kakondo abawalule olwa ensako, ndowooza kuba kujja babaka ku mulamwa. Sirowooza nti waliwo omubaka eyalondebwa abantu asobola okuggyibwa ku mulamwa olw'ensonga eyo. Ensonga gye tuliko nkulu nnyo, okuddibwamu kikulu nnyo, obwangu bw'okuddibwamu kye kisinga n'obukulu okusingawo. N'olwekyo waliwo ensonga eziri mu ddiiro tezinnaddibwamu. Okuddamu obutereevu etteeka ekkulu lyetulambika ssemateeka era mwe tutambulira.
Be able to come back to the house the same way they left. Let them come back. This house belongs to them. The house belongs to them. Nobody chased them. And when they come back to the house, they will get all that they need. And the team out there is not just fighting for the few people. It's about a bigger population. They are doing a good job, but they must do a good job from inside. Because they need support from the whole house. You'll find that the person who was kidnapped may not have been even Nope. Maybe was a relative to one of these NRMs. So let's not take the thing like it is a party issue.
I want to thank you that you've held this parliament together just from day one that you started. Right Honorable Speaker, it is the responsibility of this institution to hold the executive accountable. And if we do not hold the executive accountable, who else is going to do that? I see the debate in this parliament degenerating between the opposition and the NRM, which should not be the case. The people who this side says have been killed, have been abducted, are our children, they are our relatives, they are our aunties, they are our friends. Therefore, when we are handling these matters here in Parliament, we must be very sensitive to the feelings of all this Parliament and the country, not to degenerate between the opposition and then the NRM. Finally, Madam Speaker, I want to request you that the appeal when I heard from the leader of the opposition was that government must commit to bring a comprehensive list here. Madam Speaker, you have the power, and you have been doing that before. You have helped this country to hold the executive accountable, and it is still within your power. I appeal to you, Madam Speaker, as I sit, that you give the government, the executive, another chance to bring a comprehensive list here of the demands raised by the leader of the opposition so that this matter can be brought to a rest. Because when I hear my friends, when I hear my colleagues say that you compelled the opposition to come back to the House, that is not correct. We don't need to compel our colleagues to come to the House. We need to negotiate, dialogue, so that we bring this list together in the House and we discuss it. I thank you.
Honorable Boalo, for us to hold government accountable, we hold it from the House, not in the boardrooms. Don't degenerate me into going to the corridors. I chair the House, I do not chair the corridors. And members should come to, they were elected to come to this House.
Most obliged.
Yes, Honorable.
Right Honorable Speaker, I have learned something today, which I don't know if I should continue to hold it that way. That when people walk out of Parliament and they stay away from Parliament, then it can be termed as political activism. I have learned it from here. And I'm saying this because you remember in FDC we used to have activism. I was in the group of Muntu that cherished building the party from the grassroots, not talking too much about activism, claiming our win, which we have not claimed up to now. So whatever people want to describe what has happened, I leave it there. And secondly, Madam Speaker, I know you have made some pronouncements, and I want to go and support my son-in-law, Minister Ogwan. Why should we continue to talk about it? Why don't we just continue with what we have to do? Because...
Thank you. When an elder says, you move on. Next item. The course of action was not by this House. The decision was not by the Speaker. We inherited problems way back from Mukura. The people were burnt in Mukura. Arobo is also going to start on that. So we inherited this, so we should not be held. I should not be held liable. Because it happened when I was not there, it did not happen in this House. And it is only this House that we can be able to resolve such issues when we are all here. We will all stand for the good of the people outside there. But if we choose to address some of these issues in the boardrooms, then the public will judge us. And I'm leaving it to the public to judge, because you never know. And as Honorable said, if it is something really that we should handle, then we can even go for a select committee and have a report presented to this House. If government is failing to respond, and to the best of my knowledge, government has not failed to respond. But government cannot respond to people who are not there. The ones who asked for the report are not in the House. Let them come back to the House and we give the report. And government, can I hear from you?
Has changed from multi-party democracy to active. And other African countries. It beats my understanding that leaders, instead of using the power given to them by their people, they use the power given by somebody called the principal because he's heading a political party. There's collective responsibility, fine, but I see this for our brothers and sisters, some of them to me sitting for the 6th day, as denying their voters' rights and effective representation. And therefore, I agree with you that this being the 6th sitting, it sounds a very noise bell to our colleagues, and it will be a big lesson to other leaders to come in, who are to come in this country, that when you are elected as a person, you must respect the authority that the people have given to you. It makes me have a second mind of believing in individual merit as a person, because where it has reached, people have stopped listening to the people who voted them, and they are listening to individuals, which is now questioning who is the boss of who. Because I believe the people of Busia municipality are my bosses because they brought me to the August House to talk for them, although I pay allegiance to my party. But where it has reached, Madam Speaker and my colleagues, we should let our colleagues know politics of activism cannot work in African setting and it will not make us enjoy multi-party democracy, which we ushered in ourselves through our constitution. Therefore, Madam Speaker, you are spot on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, for all intent and purposes, government had indicated on this floor that not once, not twice, we had meetings chaired by the Right Honorable Speaker, chaired by the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker many times on the same subject matter. The same subject matter on human rights was debated through ministerial statements on the floor of Parliament. The other day when the Deputy Speaker was chairing, he enumerated the times. The same subject matter on human rights were investigated, including a parliamentary committee in charge of human rights, investigated the same. The Uganda Human Rights Commission investigated the same. Some of the suspects have been charged in courts of law. We have indicated here. Right Honorable Speaker, to the best of the understanding of government, we have done our part. We are respecting the decree by the presiding officer then to say government was given 30 days. But to the best of our recollection, we have explained, honorable members, this is the same list that was submitted to Human Rights Commission. Same list submitted to a parliamentary committee that reported on the floor. Same list investigated by the different agencies of government. For how long will this parliament continue with this legislative activism? For how long? For how long? For how long? Right Honorable Speaker, as a government, we committed here. I remember the Honorable General David Muhoozi stated in very clear terms that because the presiding officer gave us 30 days.
I just wanted the House to know that you are around. Yes, sit.
So, Right Honorable Speaker, we would want to join you as the presiding officer to support you to use all the mechanisms within the rules of procedure to compel our colleagues to come back to the House. You can invoke even certain provisions. Because the truth is, they left this House on their own. Now they want to be aided by ourselves to bring them back. That we first explained here. We are going to politely decline, Right Honorable Speaker. There is time for everything. Even under the law, there's what we call the Limitations Act. Everything has a limit. For how long are they going to stretch us? Everything has a limit. And I beg to submit.
I want to begin by saying happy birthday to you and to our twins. I congratulate you. And to the people of Bukedea. Madam Speaker and honorable members, I am happy that the government chief whip has spoken firmly here. But I want to remind you, some of us who have joined Parliament. When I joined Parliament, the 9th Parliament, I found a strong foundation by the Oboas then. As of now, I don't know whether we interest ourselves to listen to the population what they talk about this institution called Parliament. It is true today in this Parliament, we have the nearest big building near us here, which has almost reached Parliament. And Madam Speaker, forgive me to mention this, that with due respect, if you don't stand firm, it's like this institution is becoming a national theater. Why am I saying this, Madam Speaker? We used to admire legislators when we were young people. We used to admire debate of this institution. And it's the reason I endeavor to be here, irrespective from where I come from. But fundamentally today, are we really doing what the people of Uganda sent us to do here?
Honorable Minister, we are doing
Madam Speaker, there's a reason I'm bringing this. I want just you to give me 1 minute. First, we all want to accept that there is activism at play. And we cannot stop activism at play. I want to implore us that, for me, I'm happy that they are not in the House. And it is important that we continue with our business. Because now we are dealing with the reason why they sent us to Parliament. With due respect, Madam Speaker, they are looking for a scapegoat to return. And I want to appeal to you, let them stay out. We are losing nothing and we lose nothing. We will continue to transact business on behalf of this country.
Thank you, Honorable.
Honorable colleagues, I want to say this. You were voted to be here by your own people, including those who are out there. And I want to call upon your constituents. If you want to solve a problem, can you solve it when you're out there? Come here and solve a problem here. But now you have chosen to be out. I want to implore my brother, Honorable Mpuuga. I have a lot of respect for you. I do not know where you've got that activism from. You are a diplomat. If it is a pressure, please live to who you are. I thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kankwanjulire Hajji Haruna omusomi w'edduwa Nakinku ng'onava omulendwadde nnyingi nnyo oli eyo ng'otawanyizibwa mu mukwano, otawanyizibwa mu mirimu, weetaaga kumikisa, oyagala kugenda mitala w'amayanja oba obweru w'eggwanga, otawanyizibwa amajjini oba shaitwan n'ebintu ebirala bingi nnyo. Hajji Haruna akusomera dduwa n'akuvumula bulungi nnyo n'otabaako kintu kyonna ky'ojula. Hajji Haruna akola ku bantu bonna awatali kusosola mawanga, awatali kusosola madiini ne mu nzikiriza zonna. Hajji Haruna asangibwa Bulumagi ku luguudo lw'Ejjinja era osobola okumukubira ku simu ze z'olabawo ku screen, osobola okukuba direct oba n'oyitira ddala ku WhatsApp n'osobola okumufuna n'akuyamba mu buzibu bwonna bw'olina.